The rise of the full-time child, a new chapter in China. Young adults, fresh out of university or finding the job market too competitive, are taking on a new role. They are becoming full-time children, or Quanzi Ernu as it's known locally. These young people are being paid by their own parents. Their job, to stay at home, help with household chores and provide companionship. This phenomenon has emerged against a backdrop of significant economic challenges and a highly competitive job market. Millions of graduates enter the workforce each year, all vying for a limited number of good positions. Some are creating their own roles right in their parents' living room. This arrangement offers a temporary landing pad, a way to contribute while figuring out the next step. The term full-time children itself is quite telling. It professionalizes a role that has always existed in some form within families, but now it comes with a salary and defined, albeit informal, expectations. These young adults aren't just lounging around watching TV all day. They are often tasked with cooking, cleaning, running errands, helping their parents navigate the digital world, and offering emotional support. This trend has gained considerable traction, especially on Chinese social media platforms. Is this a clever adaptation to tough times, a modern expression of family values, or something else entirely? That's the big question everyone is trying to answer. So what's really pushing these young Chinese adults back into the family nest? A major factor is the economy. China's urban jobless rate for young people hit a concerning 16.5% in April 2025. This followed a record high of 21.3% in the second quarter of 2023. These aren't just numbers, they represent real people with degrees and ambitions facing a tough reality. The post-COVID era hasn't been kind to the job market globally, and China is no exception. The country's massive $19 trillion economy has been trying to regain its footing. For young graduates, the landscape looks very different from what previous generations experienced. The promise of a straightforward path from education to a stable career seems to be fading for some. Adding to the pressure are the soaring costs of living, especially for housing in major urban centers. Financial independence becomes a distant dream for many. This economic squeeze makes the option of living at home supported by parents not just convenient but sometimes a necessity. It's a practical decision born out of challenging circumstances where the safety net of family becomes incredibly important. So, what does a full-time child actually do all day? It's not just about being present, there's an unspoken list of responsibilities. A significant part of the job involves household chores. This can range from daily tasks like cooking meals and ensuring the kitchen is clean, to grocery shopping and running errands. If the parents are older, these tasks can be a genuine help. Beyond the physical chores, there's a strong element of companionship and care. Full-time children often spend quality time with their parents, engaging in conversations, accompanying them on outings, or simply being a familiar presence. Another crucial responsibility is managing digital tasks. Their full-time children often become the de facto IT support, helping with everything from troubleshooting internet issues to ordering items online. Finally, organizing family activities and managing schedules can also fall under their purview. It's a dynamic role, often evolving based on the family's circumstances. Now let's talk about the money. How much does a full-time child earn for their dedicated service at home? The compensation typically comes from the parents and can vary quite a bit. Reports suggest that earnings generally range from around 3,000 to 6,000 yuan per month. This financial arrangement is often made possible by the parents' own financial stability. Many of these parents belong to a generation that benefited from China's period of rapid economic growth. This intergenerational wealth transfer is a key enabler of the full-time children phenomenon. However, this salary isn't just free money. It often comes with the expectation that the full-time child will manage their personal expenses and contribute to the household in meaningful ways. For some, this period might also be used to save money, study for further qualifications, or explore alternative career paths. Section 5. A modern twist on tradition: filial piety. Reimagined? One of the most prominent arguments in favor of the full-time children trend is that it's a modern expression of filial piety. Filial piety, or Zhaoshun, is a cornerstone of Confucian ethics, and has deeply influenced Chinese culture for centuries. In this light, young adults choosing to stay home and dedicate their time to caring for their parents can be seen as upholding these deeply ingrained traditional values. They are, in a sense, prioritizing family obligations in a very direct and personal manner. Proponents suggest that in a rapidly modernizing society, being a full-time child is a way to reconnect with these core values. Instead of outsourcing elder care, these young adults are stepping up. This perspective frames the choice as a noble one, a sacrifice of personal career ambitions for the well-being of the family unit. This interpretation resonates with many in China, where the responsibility of caring for aging parents is strongly felt. Section 6. The other side of the coin. Concerns of disguised unemployment. However, not everyone views the full-time children phenomenon through the rosy lens of filial piety. A significant counter-argument is that this trend is essentially a form of disguised unemployment. Critics suggest that young adults are opting for this arrangement because they are struggling to find suitable jobs in a fiercely competitive market. Staying home and receiving a stipend from parents becomes a more palatable alternative to facing repeated rejections. This perspective highlights the immense pressure on young graduates. With youth unemployment rates reaching alarming highs, the full-time child role can be seen as a way to avoid the stigma of joblessness. Some may use this period to study for civil service exams or other qualifications. The term "rotten tail kids" has even emerged on Chinese social media, implying these young adults are in a state of limbo. Critics worry about the long-term implications for these young adults, as spending several years out of the formal workforce can make it even harder to re-enter later. Section 7. Echoes from home, personal stories and lived experiences. To truly understand the full-time children phenomenon, it's essential to listen to the voices of those living it. Take for example the story of Amada Chen, a university graduate who quit a sales job due to a toxic work culture. Despite sending out over 130 job applications, she struggled to find new employment. For individuals like Amada, becoming a full-time child isn't a first choice but a consequence of a disheartening job search. Then there's Zephyr Cao, who holds a master's degree. After receiving job offers with salaries he felt didn't reflect his education, he began to question the value of his advanced qualifications. His experience highlights a growing disillusionment among highly educated youth. However, the arrangement isn't always smooth sailing. Long-term cohabitation and the blurring of family and work roles can lead to tensions. One full-time daughter shared her experience of facing parental criticism. Her story underscores the emotional complexities involved. Section 8. Expert Perspectives, Sustainability and Societal Ripples. Experts looking at the full-time children trend offer a range of insights, often tinged with caution about its long-term viability and societal impact. Many acknowledge the immediate benefits it can provide, such as alleviating youth unemployment statistics and offering care for aging parents. However, they also warn that this is not a sustainable solution to either job scarcity or the demographic challenges China faces. Chen Zhiwen, an education researcher, offers a direct piece of advice to parents, urging them to encourage independence in their children. He cautions that prolonged financial support and an at-home role without external career development could inadvertently ruin their children. From a socio-cultural standpoint, Eric Fu from the University of Melbourne suggests that trends like full-time children reflect a broader reconsideration of work and life's meaning among Chinese youth. They are questioning the traditional social contract where higher education was seen as a guaranteed path to upward mobility. The societal impact also touches upon the very fabric of China's economic ambitions. Experts generally agree that while the phenomenon is understandable given current pressures, addressing the root causes, youth unemployment and economic uncertainty, is crucial for the future. Section 9. Navigating the future. A temporary solution or a lasting shift. As we look ahead, the question remains, is the full-time child phenomenon in China a temporary coping mechanism for difficult times, or does it signal a more permanent shift in societal norms and family structures? Given the current economic climate, it's understandable that such arrangements offer a practical, albeit temporary, solution for many families. However, the cultural underpinnings of filial piety cannot be dismissed. The desire to care for aging parents is deeply rooted in Chinese society. If formal support systems remain costly or insufficient, the full-time child model might continue to hold appeal for some families. The long-term sustainability, as many experts point out, is a significant concern. Relying on parental savings is not a permanent fix, and the lack of formal career progression can have lasting consequences for the young adults involved. Societally, if a large number of educated young people remain outside the conventional workforce for extended periods, it could impact innovation and economic growth. Ultimately, the phenomenon of full-time children serves as a powerful reflection of the pressures and priorities facing young people and families in contemporary China.